Hey there, teacher friends. It is Leigh here from the Applicious Teacher, and today I'm sharing another easy Google hack that is perfect for teachers like you. Today we're going to be talking about how you can take some of your favorite PDF activities or units that you've purchased from Teachers Pay Teachers or have created yourself and turn them into interactive activities that can be used in your virtual classroom. So let's get started. The example lesson that I'm going to use is a capacity unit. So when I taught third grade, we loved doing capacity. It was such a fun hands-on unit. But a lot of the activities included in this unit do not necessarily translate directly to the virtual classroom. There was lots of hands-on stuff, but that doesn't mean you can't bring it to your students. So let's click over to the printable section, and I'll show you how you can actually make these work in your virtual classroom. So here you can see is the PDF of the mass and capacity activities that I used in that blog post. There are lots of reference things for students. There's reference posters, exploring activities, of course, answer keys to help you. Word problems, cut and pastes, okay? Now, not everything that is in a PDF will translate perfectly to a digital classroom setting. So for example, this sorting activity probably won't be the best to translate, but these posters are great. This exploring activity is good. The word problems are good, things like that. So we're going to first go in and we're going to screen capture these activities that we want to use in our digital classroom. So I know I'm going to want to have a reference poster for my students, and I'm probably going to want this exploration activity for students to do while we do the activity together via Zoom. And I'm definitely going to want them to do some word problem on capacity. So let's first start with the poster. So to translate this PDF over to a Google classroom-friendly resource, I'm going to first use a tool called the snipping tool. I'm on a PC, and the snipping tool allows me to kind of like screen capture certain areas on my desktop. Now, if you are on a Mac, you would do a screenshot, but I'm on a PC, so we're going to use the snipping tool. If you don't know where the snipping tool is, just type down here in your search box and it'll come right up. It's a free tool. Okay, so we're going to click snipping tool, and we're going to click new. And then you're going to see these crosshairs come up, and we're going to use the crosshairs to kind of just crop out the area that we want to take a screenshot of. I don't want the whole PDF because that would be confusing for students. I just want the reference poster. So now we have the capture of the reference poster. We're going to click File, Save As, and we're going to make I just like to be super organized with this stuff, so I made a separate folder for all the capacity principles, and here you can see we have the capacity poster. We're going to click Save. I already did this, just to make sure it worked. And it did. So I'm going to do the same for the capacity exploration sheet and the word problems. Okay. I'm also going to do this one down here because this one could actually work really well in your digital classroom. And I'm going to show you like a little bonus trick on this one. So let's take one more screenshot of that. So we'll click New, get the crosshairs, and we're going to go like so, taking out all that extra. We're going to click File, Save As, and this is mass cut and paste. Obviously in a digital classroom, they won't be cutting and pasting, but I'm going to show you how to make that work in your digital classroom. Okay, so I'm going to exit that out, and I'm going to minus the sound. We want to keep that up, and I'm going to go and I'm going to open up a new blank Google slide. And we're going to adjust the size on the Google slide to, oh, my head's in the way. Let's move my head. By clicking Page Setup. And we're going to make it a page size, which is an 8.5 by 11. We're going to click Apply. And there you can see it's now a portrait page size, which is what all my printables were. If your printables were in landscape, you would do 11 by 8.5. Okay, we're also going to title this so that we know what they are, and it's capacity printables. Okay, So now we have where we're going to put the activity. So I'm going to right click the slide and I'm going to change the background. And we're actually going to take the screenshot images that we used for, that we pulled from the PDF, and we're going to insert them as background images in this Google slide. And what that does is it makes sure that the pieces can't move. Because when students are clicking around, they can accidentally grab that and it'll move it. We don't want that to happen. So we're going to click Choose Image, and we're going to upload. And we're going to go to our last place that we were and where we saved it. There we go. And the first one I'm going to do is capacity poster. I'm going to upload it. Okay. And then I'm going to click another slide. Oh, we don't want any of those there. And we're going to do it again. Change background, choose image, browse. And I want these in order, so I'm going to do that. Okay, and we're going to do that for, I want a blank slide. Come on, slides, be blank. Once again, we're going to right click, change background, choose image, browse, and you can actually drop them in too if you want to put them off to the side. If you're doing a lot of them, that's a little easier than doing what I'm doing. There's a lot of clicking involved the way I'm doing it. Okay, and our last one, I'm not going to insert as an image. So I'm not going to insert as a background. I'm going to show you that in just a second. Okay, so here we now have the reference poster for students to reference and 2 activities that students can complete after learning about capacity. So the first one is an exploration activity, and here students are going to fill in the missing information. And to do that, all I have to do is insert text boxes. So this makes what was a PDF now interactive. Make sure it's big enough that students can type on and see. We don't want it super tiny. And I'm going to Control C to copy and Control V to paste. So Control C, copy, Control V, paste. And I'm just putting text boxes wherever there's a spot for students to fill out. And as we go through our lesson, Control C, Control V, as we go through our lesson, they can type in the information, or I can have it up and type in the information and they can just watch what I'm doing. Personally, I like them to be a little more involved, but you just have to do what works. So here students are going to make their estimates of what they want to do. And let's be honest, this is taking a long time. So we're going to grab multiple boxes, move them over. Oops. Okay. There's one done. Now, let's go down. We're going to do the same thing for here. I'm not going to show you that because obviously time. Okay. But from there, I can assign this whole assignment in Google Slides or in my Google Classroom, or I can create copies of things and only section out like the poster and the exploration activity. And then the next time I can do the poster and the capacity activity. So for example, I could say, I want for our exploration activity, I want students to reference the poster and only this printable. So I can right click and I can do move me out of the way. Sorry that my face is in the way. All right, we'll do right click, and then we want to do make a copy, and we just want to make a copy of the selected slides. And I'm going to put explore so that I remember that this is the exploration pages. And that's going to make a new copy of just those 2 slides. See? There they are. Okay. I can do the same thing for the capacity word problems and the poster again and make another assignment, okay? But let's talk about that cut and paste. Remember, we grabbed that one too. You can actually make that interactive in Google Slides as well. So to do that, we're going to insert an image that we're going to upload from the computer. Here it is. Okay, we're going to make it about the page size. Okay, now I'm going to Control and V this, copy and paste this again. So there's a base one and then an extra one, and I'm going to crop out the cut and paste part of the original image. So there's that. And now over here, I have the cut and paste part. I'm going to crop out that part. So now I have my cut and paste pieces and my activity pieces. I'm going to move those down there. Okay. Now I'm going to Control C, Control V again to copy and paste. And now I'm going to crop this down into its individual little pieces. And I'm just going to crop it in to make kind of like movable pieces. So here I can see what would be about a gram, what would be about 100 grams. So a paper clip is about a gram. Students can grab it and pull it there. I'm going to leave it down here so that it's friendly for students. Okay, and I'm going to do the same for the rest of the pieces. And this makes them movable. Obviously, those are not the right answers, but there we go. And that's how you can actually take a cut and paste and make it work in Google Slides. Okay, so from there, we can now go into our Google Classroom. We can go into Classwork. We can create our assignments. And this is a capacity exploration activity. Review the reference poster and follow along. Really? Along as we explore capacity. Okay, and now we can add the printable here from our Google Drive. And you can upload it or you can go in. Remember, I did my thing. So there, I'm going to add the Explorer and I'm going to insert that. And now students have their own thing. And I want them to be able to edit the file and I want them to be able to make a copy for each student so that every student will be able to complete their own version as we go through. That way they can do their own estimations and put in their own answers as we explore capacity in our virtual lesson. Okay, then I can assign it. I can put my due date and my assign and click assign and boom. Now I've taken some of my favorite printables and I've turned them into interactive PDFs for my students to use in our Google Classroom. All right, guys, thanks for joining me for today's Google Hacks for Teachers. If you have any questions, you can always leave comments down below. And of course, if you like this one, be sure to follow my channel so that you can be up on all of these fun Google Hacks for Teachers as I post new videos. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.